Chapter 21. Jonas told himself again and again throughout the day, "We can make it work. Write fake note, wait for night, sneak out of dwelling, take extra set of clothes, leave bike by river, sneak back to annex. We can. We will make it work. Don't forget the note." But that evening, everything changed. All of it, all the things they had thought through so meticulously, fell apart. That night, Jonas was forced to flee. He left the dwelling after the sky became dark and the community still. He moved stealthily and silently, making his way toward the river. Beyond the plaza, he could see the annex, but he could not stop there. There was no time. Now, on the bridge, he could see the dark, churning water far below. He felt no fear, only a very deep sadness that he had left his closest friend behind. It had happened at the evening meal. Enjoy. Enjoy it, little guy. This is your last night as visitor. What do you mean? Well, he wasn't here when you got home this morning because we had him stay overnight at the nurturing center. It seems like a good opportunity with you gone to give it a try. He'd been sleeping so soundly. Did it go well? Ha! That's an understatement. It was a disaster. He cried all night. Apparently, the night crew didn't handle it, or couldn't handle it. They were really frazzled by the time I got to work. Gabe, you naughty thing. So we obviously had to make the decision. Even I voted for Gabriel's release when we had the meeting this afternoon. Release? We certainly gave it our best try, didn't we? Yep. Yes, we did. When? When will he be released? First thing tomorrow morning. We have to start our preparations for the naming ceremony, so we thought we'd get this taken care of right away. It's bye-bye to you, Gabe, in the morning. Jonas reached the opposite side of the river. The community where his entire life had been lived lay behind him now. At dawn, the orderly, disciplined life he had always known would continue again without him. The life without color, pain, or past. It was not safe to spend time looking back. He thought of the rules he had broken so far. First, he had left the dwelling at night, a major transgression. Second, he had robbed the community of food, a very serious crime. Third, he had stolen his father's bicycle, but it was necessary because it had the child seat attached to the back, and he had taken Gabriel too. That night, before he left, he transmitted to Gabe the most soothing memory he could. He knew he had the remaining hours of the night before they could be aware of his escape. So he rode hard, willing himself not to tire as the minutes and the miles passed. There had been no time to receive the memories he and the giver had counted on of strength and courage, so he relied on what he had and hoped it would be enough. He circled the outlying communities, their dwellings dark. Gradually, the distances between communities widened, with longer stretches of empty road. His leg ached at first. Then as time passed, they became numb. At dawn, Gabriel began to stir. "Morning meal, Gabe." He was exhausted. He knew he must sleep, resting his own muscles and preparing himself for more hours on the bicycle. It would not be safe to travel at daylight. They would be looking for him soon. He found a place deeply hidden in the trees, carefully hiding the bicycle in deep bushes. "Sorry, Gabe, I know it's morning and you just woke up, but we have to sleep now." Together, the fugitives slept through the first dangerous day. The most terrifying thing was the planes. Usually, the aircraft came by day when they were hiding, but he was alert at night too, always listening for the sounds of the engines. By now, days had passed. Jonas no longer knew how many the journey had become automatic. They sleep by day, the finding of water, the careful division of scraps of food, and the endless miles on the bicycle at night. His leg muscles were taut now. They ate, but they were stronger, and he stopped now less often to rest. So he had not needed the strength the giver might have provided had there been time. But when the search planes came, he wished that they could have received the courage. Plane! He knew they were search planes. Plane! They flew so low that he could almost see the faces of the searchers. He knew that they could not see color, and that their flesh, as well as Gabriel's golden curls, would be no more than smear of gray against the colorless foliage. But he remembered from his science studies at school that the search planes use heat-seeking devices that could identify body warmth. So, always, when he heard the aircraft sound, he reached to Gabriel and transmitted memories of snow. Together they became cold, and when the planes were gone, they would shiver, holding each other until sleep came. Sometimes, urging the memories into Gabriel, Jonas felt they were more shallow, a little weaker than they had been. It was what he and the giver had planned, that as he moved away from the community, he would shed the memories and leave them behind for the people. But now, when he needed them, when the planes came, he tried hard to cling to what he still had of cold and to use it for their survival. He pedaled through the nights, through isolated landscapes, now with the community far behind and no sign of human habitation around him or ahead. He was constantly vigilant, looking for the nearest hiding place, should the sounds of engines come. But the frequency of the planes diminished. They came less often and flew less slowly, as if the search had become haphazard and no longer hopeful. Finally, they came to an entire day and night when they did not come at all.